Now, our next guest's vocal talents have seen her take on some of musical theatre's most iconic roles, from Eva Peron in Evita to Fantine in Les Mis.
Yes, we're delighted to be joined this morning by the one and only Rebecca Storm. Good morning.
Good morning.
Rebecca.
To you both.
And of course, we go through that in the list. It's Mrs. Johnston and Blood Brothers and all the others. But when you go back to being a babby, did you always know musical theatre was
That's
going
a long time
Oh,
ago,
come on.
Alan.
Come on, you're looking great.
Oh,
you're
it's
looking
early
great.
in the morning to go back that far. You've exhausted me already.
Was musical theatre always going to be the thing?
No.
OK,
I mean,
what was
no.
it?
Do you mean when I was 2 and things?
No, but
I
when
was
you,
in
when
my
you were
high chair
starting
thinking,
out.
Boo, bye-bye, in my high chair. No, musical theatre didn't, until I saw Sound of Music and Mary Poppins, and then I was joining in the theatre.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when the film was on and everybody was shutting me up and saying, "What is she?"
You were singing
I was
along
an
to it.
idle voice. Will she shut up? So, no, I did like those. I was a massive Julie Andrews fan, but never really thought about it because I was a Yorkshire girl and actually the musical theatre didn't come into Yorkshire then. You know, it wasn't
touring
it wasn't the
companies
touring
didn't
thing
go
like
there,
it is
yeah.
now. So the first time I did a tour was '84 with Blood Brothers. Yeah.
Wow.
But you did graft. You know, we hear about people who end up having these wonderful careers, but they're going around the clubs, they're singing. Like, even you think of Gary Barlow was doing all that before he was in Take That. But I believe there was one particular gig for you, Rebecca Storm, and this was at the Riverside Cabaret Club in Exeter. It gave you quite a surprise, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I told you
What
a
happened
researcher
here?
about that, didn't I? Yes. Well, I supported 2 strippers, basically. Yes.
just on your knee.
Like
You
do.
didn't know you were supporting 2 strippers, did you?
Not until I got there, no. And I was in the dressing room with these 2 girls who were about double the height of me, and it was
Were
quite
you
an
singing
experience.
as they were stripping, or were you just the interval actor?
Alan, I certainly was not. I wasn't singing well. How very dare you suggest that, you naughty boy.
But you were the sandwich between the strippers. Was that it? You were the meat in between the sandwich. Was that it?
I was, there was kind of a band there, you know. I didn't have my own band. I wish I had, but I didn't. I was just singing for about 20 minutes, I suppose. And it was beautiful club, you know. It was all very plush like this. But I knew when I got into the dressing room what the scenario was, but I hadn't been told by my agent at all, you know. And I went on and the audience looked at... Of course, I was singing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they were looking at me thinking, I hope she's not going to be taking anything off. You know, because I was about 6 stone in those days and about 18 years old. No, it was quite an experience, yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't it
grafting.
great? But when you say grafting, though, I mean, for a lot of entertainers, that's what it was. It was clubbing around those early days trying to get the breaks.
Absolutely, yeah. I was a Yorkshire girl, so it was... and I was in college, so... But, I mean, I found that... I've always been a worker, you know. I've always liked to work, whatever it happened to be. So I took quite a few daytime jobs, but I realised, I was about 18, that if I sang in a social or a working men's club, I would earn double what I would earn through the whole week. And I thought there must be something in this.
Yeah.
You know, you might have a go. And that was it. It's sort of... I got an agent and, I travelled the country and abroad and everything. But, and one thing leads to another. I did a lot of supporting of people like Bob Monkhouse and...
travelling around
Ken
the clubs
Dodd.
as it was,
Ken
and kind
Dodd,
of, you know, being those acts, those interval acts for those working men clubs. But then kind of the stage really does start calling, and we've listed so many roles that you have done. We have to talk about Blood Brothers, because you, as Mrs. Johnston, you're saying you're going back next year, and that will be for over 42 years you've played this role.
I know, yeah.
Like, everyone in this country, I think, has seen you play Mrs. Johnston in Blood Brothers. It's such an iconic role.
Oh, that's nice. That's so...
But to get to keep on going back, that's amazing.
I know. Well, when they asked me, I laughed. You know?
Did you? Did you never think you would play it again?
I did it 3 years ago in the Board, gosh, and I don't feel like I said goodbye. It was a funny moment because I don't feel like I said goodbye to Mrs. J. But then you never know, do you? And yeah, so when they phoned me up and said, you know, will you do? So I'm doing Brighton, Derry, and the Bord Gosh. So it's just for a month with a bit of rehearsals beforehand, which is perfect. I love that. I wouldn't be able to do the 8 shows a week all over the country anymore.
Will this be the goodbye to Mrs. Johnston then?
Don't tell anybody. And never say never.
No, never say never. Never say never. But it is an incredible span of your life and what you've done it. And of course, then we have all the others like Fantine and Les Mis and Eva Peron. I mean, is Mrs. Johnston the favourite?
I think it has to be, really.
Yeah.
You know, I think I mean, the audiences love it. So there's so much warmth that you get from that show, you know. And people come back. You said you've seen it a few times.
I've seen you in it about 5 or 6 times.
You're so good.
And I bawl crying every time I see it.
You can make him cry in Wexford as well, because you are going to be in Wexford Opera House on Saturday, the 6th of December, the K Club in Kildare on the 28th of December, and it is an evening with the First Lady of Musical Theatre.
Yes,
what a name! I love it.
I know. I didn't call myself that. I don't know where it came from.
It was in a review. We have it here. That it was a title given in a review, and your agent said that's great.
We're keeping it.
Well, exactly. It's slightly embarrassing, in fairness, because there's a whole load of fabulous women who do musical theatre in Ireland. So it's a bit of a... But I'm keeping it. I'm taking it, you know?
What are you going to be singing?
I'm going to be singing songs from Blood Brothers, believe it or not. Oh. I'm going to be singing songs from... oh, there I am, yeah.
There you are.
That was at the Lark in Balbriggan. Evita, songs from musicals that I've been in, that I haven't been in, songs that I've been influenced. I did a show called The Streisand Songbook because I was a big Barbara Streisand fan. Karen Carpenter songs, Linda Ronstadt, you know, songs that I like, really, and that I think people like. And
well, the Wexford Opera House, as we said, that's a fabulous theatre to be playing here. It's just so lucky to get there. Yeah. And then the K Club in Kildare on Sunday, the 28th of December. And then, of course, Mrs. Johnston next year. Rebecca, always lovely to see you. Thank you so much.
It's great to see you too. Thanks for having me on.
You can find tickets online for the wonderful Rebecca Storm. Thank you so much for joining us.